Hello students, welcome to Shri Vardhaman Vidyalaya online education. So today we will see the part 5 of an chapter 2 is matter around us pure. In this part we will see the remaining method of an separation of mixtures. So first we will see the to separate the dye, that is a colored component present in the black ink. So that is a new method that you have not studied, that is we are calling as a chromatography. So here we are using so many different types of chromatography. So here we are using a paper chromatography. Okay, so what are the materials required for that one? That is a strip of filter paper, water soluble ink, large size glass jar with a lid, cotton and thread. You can see the diagram of an paper chromatography. So this is a filter paper and the filter paper, and here we are taking that is how, that is you have to draw a line using a pencil above a 3 centimeter of a lower edge. So and you have to put in a drop of the water soluble ink, and you have to keep this filter paper inside the jar containing water. A care must be taken that the drop of ink on the paper will not be deep on the water, just it will be above the level of the water. uh, and observe after sometimes what happens, that is in a different color that will be present in the dye. It will be soluble in the water and it will be moves in an upward directions in the filter paper, that you can see in a different color spot. Okay, just like this. Here it is, we have seen in a three different colored spot. So this is not in a paper chromatography, just like this three paper spot you can see in this one after in a sometime. Okay, so procedure: take a thin strip of filter paper, that is 25 centimeter into 5 centimeter. Draw a line on it using a pencil approximately 3 centimeter above the lower edge. Put in a small drops of water soluble black ink from a sketch pen or fountain pen at the center of the line. Let the ink dry. Attach the paper strip on the thread with the help of cello tape. Lower the filter paper strip into the large size gas jar in such a way that the drop of ink on the paper is just above the water level. Now adjust the thread and fix it on the side of the jar with the help of a cello tape. Cover the gas jar with an lid and leave it undisturbed. Watch carefully as the water rises up on the filter paper. Remove the filter paper strip, dry it and observe. Observation. Observation. The three colored spots can be seen on the filter paper strip. Conclusion: the given sample of an black ink has three different dyes mixed in it. The ink that we used has water as a solvent and dye is soluble in it. As the water rises on the filter paper, it takes along its with the dye particles. Usually, a dye is a mixture of two or more colors. The colored component that is more soluble in water and rises fast, and in such way the color gets separated. This process of separation of a component of a mixture is known as a chromatography. Chrome in a Greek means color. This technique was the first used for the separation of color, so this name was given. Chromatography is the technique used for the separation of those solids that dissolve in the same solvent. Applications: to separate the colors in a dyes, pigment from the natural color, drugs from the blood. So there are so many different types of chromatography that you will be studying in the higher classes, that is column chromatography, high performance liquid chromatography, gas chromatography, paper chromatography that we have seen. This is a paper chromatography. Next, thin layer chromatography. This is a thin layer chromatography. So in thin layer chromatography, they will take a glass strip, and in that they will form a layer of a silica gel, and that they will get same process. Next, they will be put in a drop of an ink or any substance that you want to separate, and that will be put in a solvent. So what happens after some time they will be moved. So this is a thin layer plates, and here thin layer chromatography chambers. Okay, so this is a spotting light. Next is an ion exchanging chromatography. High performance thin layer chromatography. Liquid chromatography, mass spectroscopy. Gas chromatography, mass spectroscopy. HPLC means that is a high performance thin layer atomic absorption spectroscopy. Gas chromatography, atomic absorption. So these are the different types of chromatography. So we can see the some diagrams. This is a thin layer chromatography. The step of the thin layer. So we'll make a thin layer. So using a silica gel. Then we have put in a two spot. After 5 minutes, you can see that the spots are separating here. Okay. Then after 10 minutes, you can see the difference. Okay. Now you have to measure. So how you can measure? That is an RF, distance traveled by the component by the distance traveled by the solvent. Distance traveled by the component means here the component is moving from this place to this place. So this is an A from this to up to this part. So that is a distance traveled by the component. And distance traveled by the solvent. Here we are taking in a solvent as a water. What happens? The water will be moved up to this one. So this will be called as a distance traveled by the solvent. That is A upon B. This is a paper chromatography that you have seen. Okay, spot of an ink strip of paper and you will put in the water. So what happens? We are fixing that in this one. Next is an ion exchanging column chromatography. So this is an ion exchanging column chromatography. So this will be used for the polymers. Polymers means PVC. That is a polyvinyl chloride or a polyvinyl ethylene. So from this we can separate an this. That is an here this is an column. So here you can see the positively charged protein binds to the negatively charged beads. So this negative and positive charge they will be binds with each other, and here the negative charge protein flow through that. So they will be flowing out from this one. So this is an a column exchanging chromatography that deeply you can study in a higher class. Next one is the classification of chromatography. Liquid chromatography and gas chromatography. That is liquid will be moving phase. Phase means to move ho raha hai. Next gas chromatography, the gas will be moving phase. And liquid solid chromatography, the solid will be the stationary phase, the absorbent ion exchanging others. The liquid chromatography, the liquid will be the stationary phase. Next here the gas chromatography, that is will be divided into gas solid and gas liquid. And here gas solid, the solid will be the absorbent stationary phase, and here the liquid will be the stationary phase. So these are the some chromatographic technique that will be used. Next is an method to separate an mixtures of two miscible liquid. Miscible means both are soluble with each other. For example, we are taking an acetones and then a water. Both are they will be soluble. So what are the materials that will be required? Distillation flask, thermometer, condenser, beaker, iron stand, and the mixture of acetone and water. Procedure: take the mixtures in a distillation flask and fit the flask with a thermometer. So you can see the arrangement of the apparatus. So this is an flask. Okay, distillation flask. Inside the distillation flask we are having a mixture of water and acetones, and this will be fitted with a thermometer, and this distillation flask will be fitted with an iron stand, and here this is a condenser. So in a condenser the water, cold water will be going inside and the it will be circulated, so the water will be comes out. This is a clamp to fix the condenser, and here there is water will be condensed, that is vapor will be condensed and it will be formed into a liquid. So this is how the apparatus will be set up in this one distillation method. So heat the mixture slowly, keeping a close watch at the thermometer, and observe what happens. Observation: the vapor of acetones can be seen rising up in the distillation flask with the increasing in temperature. When the temperature rises above 60 degree, the acetone gets vaporized and form vapors in the flask. These vapors get condensed in the condenser and can be collected as a pure liquid distillate from the condenser outlet. Now here you know that is we have taken the mixture of an acetone and an water. So here first the boiling point of an acetone is very low than that of the boiling point of the water. So the acetone will be vaporized first. So the boiling point of an acetone is an 60. So it will be start vaporized first. So here what happens, the vapor will be go inside the condenser, and inside the condenser what happens, the vapor will be converted into the liquid and we will be collect the acetone, pure acetone. After some time you can see that is only the water will be remained in a distillation flask. So result, the acetone can be collected in the beaker from the condenser outlet while the water is left behind in the distillation flask. So this method is called distillation. It is used for the separation of component of a mixture containing two miscible liquid that boils without decomposition and have a sufficient difference in their boiling point. So you can see the difference between them. That is an 40. To separate a mixture of two or more miscible liquid for which the difference in their boiling point is less than 25 Kelvin. So here we have seen that distillation, the boiling point, there is a vast difference of their boiling point. But there is another method to separate a mixture of two or more miscible liquid, but the boiling point is very less, near than that is 25, less than 25. So for that we can use a fractionational distillation process. Fractional distillation process is used, for example, for the separation of different gas from air and the different fraction from the petrol product. You know that is a petrol is not a pure one. It will be having some natural gases, crude oil, petrol, petroleum, diesel, etc. So the apparatus is similar to that for a simple distillation, except that an fractionating column is fitted in the between the distillation flask and the condenser. So the simple fractional column is a tube packed with a glass bead. These beads provide the surface for the vapor to cool and condense repeat, repeatedly. So what is the difference between the distillation as well as a fractional distillation method? So in the distillation there will not be any fractional column, but here in a fractional distillation there is a fractional column will be there, and inside the fractional column there is a beads will be present. So what is the uses of a beads? So they will vaporize the very fast, that it will be condense the vapor, that is vapors to cool and condense that is it repeatedly. What happens that it will be cool very fast. So that will be the uses of beads inside this one. So using this fractional distillation, that is we can separate separation of a mixture of gas as well as some products that will be two miscible liquid, two or more miscible liquid, their boiling point is less than, that is it will be very nearer to that. So you can see this one, this is an distillation flask. So here we are having a mixtures, and this is a cork. Inside the cork that we have fitted a fractional column and thermometer and cork, and inside that fractional column they will be pipe and they will be attached on a condenser, and here there is a cold water inlets and outlets, and water will be condensed and pure liquid will component will be come out from this one. So this is the difference between the distillation as well as a fractional distillation method. So hope you all are understood this two method, that is most important method, chromatography as well as distillation and fractional distillation. Thank you. We will meet in the next session of this chapter.